It rolls onto its roof. Straight into the guardrail, he bails on foot, buried in a dust cloud. Mustang spins out. Number 1 is destroyed on impact. A white sedan refuses to pull over and decides the gas pedal is the only answer it has left. Patrol units fall in behind it as the speedometer climbs. The engine screaming through residential blocks while the driver hunts for any gap that might buy a few more seconds of freedom. He is fast, but he is running out of road, and you can already feel the units tightening the noose around him. This one leaves the asphalt entirely. The suspect cuts off the highway and onto loose dirt, kicking up a wall of dust so thick the dashcam barely holds focus. The vehicle bucks and slides across the open ground, the driver fighting a surface that gives him no grip and no warning before everything goes sideways.
At that speed, physics stops negotiating, and you can sense the wreck coming before it ever lands.
He's coming in hot.
It does not take long. The vehicle catches an edge in the soft terrain. The back end swings out, and the whole thing slams down in an eruption of dust and dirt that swallows the camera for a full second. When the cloud finally clears, the wreck is sitting crooked and broken in the open field, steam rising off the hood. Officers move in across the loose ground with weapons up, dragging the dazed driver out of the cab before he can even think about another run. A red Mustang lights up and tears down the road like it was built for exactly this moment. The driver weaves through traffic, the V8 howling. treating every intersection like a dare. Patrol cars strain to keep the bright red shape in frame as the cars lane to lane, daring anyone to put a bumper on it. Muscle cars give you confidence right up until they give you a crash. And this driver has way too much of the verb. Confidence runs out at speed. The Mustang clips a turn it had no business taking that fast. The rear tires let go, and the car spins hard before slamming into the barrier in a shower of plastic and glass. The front end folds, a wheel kicks loose, and the bright red body comes to rest crumpled against the guardrail. The driver stumbles out shaken and disoriented, only to be put straight onto the pavement by the officers who were right on his bumper the whole time. A heavy pickup truck throws itself into the chase, all weight and momentum and very little finesse. The driver muscles it down the highway, the tall body rocking on his suspension as he refuses to back off. Every lane change is a gamble with that much mass moving that fast, and the truck is one wrong input away from getting away from him completely. A truck that size does not turn. It commits, and right now, it is committing to something the driver cannot control. Control is the first thing to go. The driver overcooks a curve, the top-heavy truck lurches, and the whole frame snaps loose in a violent slide across the lanes. It plows off the road and grinds to a brutal stop, the front crushed and one side scraped down to bare metal. Dust and debris hang in the air as the suspect sits stunned behind the wheel. And by the time he understands what just happened, the officers already have the door open and his arms behind his back. Another truck, another driver, convinced the chase ends on his terms. He pins the throttle down a fast stretch of highway, the guardrail flashing past in a silver blur on the shoulder. The patrol units hang back just enough to give him room, watching a truck moving far too fast for a margin this thin between the lane and the steel barrier. There is a razor line between the road and that guardrail, and at this speed, he has no room left to be wrong. He runs out of room. A small correction at that speed becomes a catastrophe, and the truck drifts wide and slams straight into the guardrail with a metallic crunch that the dashcam picks up clean. The barrier tears into the side panel, sparks fly off the rail, and the truck grinds along the steel before finally jolting to a dead stop. The hood is buckled, the side is shredded, and the driver climbs out limping into the arms of the officers who close in within seconds. This suspect has two plans, and both of them are bad. He runs the car hard through tight streets, the engine straining as he throws it around corners faster than the tires can hold. You can feel him already eyeing the doors, the chase car closing the gap while he decides whether to keep driving or cut and run on foot. When a runner starts looking at the door handle instead of the road, the crash is basically already on the schedule. He waits too long. The car loses the next corner entirely, plows into a parked obstacle with a sharp bang, and the front end caves in on impact. Before it even stops rocking, the door flies open and the suspect bails out at a dead sprint, leaving the smoking wreck behind. The foot chase lasts only seconds. Officers close the distance fast and take him down hard onto the pavement. The crash and the run ending in the same breathless, tangled pile of bodies and broken plastic. Van is the last thing you want to see moving this fast. Tall, heavy, and built for cargo instead of cornering, it lumbers down the road at a speed it was never designed to survive. The driver wrenches it through traffic, the whole boxy body leaning hard on every turn, and the dashcam frames a vehicle that is begging to tip with each correction. High center of gravity, way too much speed, and a desperate driver. That math only ever ends one way. It ends violently. The van hits a turn it could never make. The tall body loads up onto two wheels, and then it goes completely over, rolling in a sickening tumble of metal and shattering glass across the road. It flips again and slams down on its roof, sliding to a smoking stop with the wheels still spinning in the air. The wreck is barely recognizable. Officers approach with extreme caution and pull the battered driver out through a crushed opening. The rollover so brutal, it is a small miracle he is moving at all. Number 1 starts where most of these chases end. A Dodge Charger comes flying into frame already at full song. The driver clearly passed any point of caution. There is no slow build-up, no measured pursuit. Just a heavy muscle car launched down the road at a speed that leaves the patrol cars and the dash cam scrambling to keep up. No warning, no build-up, just raw speed and a driver who has already lost the argument with physics. Then it is over in an instant. The Charger loses it almost immediately. The back end snapping out before the whole car spears off the road and detonates against a fixed object in the most violent impact of the entire ranking. The car is destroyed on contact. The front end vaporized, debris scattered across the lanes, the dash cam shuddering from the force. This is why it tops the list ranked by danger. There is no chase to win when the wreck happens this fast and this hard, and officers race in toward a Charger that no longer looks like a car at all. That is today's countdown, ranked by danger, where one decision changed everything in a split second. Every one of these drivers thought they could outrun the law, and every